It is 7 a.m. We're about to charge up again.
Veux-tu danser avec moi?
Alright, so we're driving the truck right now. This is our first drive ever, and it's pretty freaking sick. Like, the steering wire definitely feels super nice. Like, we're about to get on the highway right now. It's super comfortable. The suspension is super smooth. We're about to also get onto this 20-hour road trip back. We're certainly going to be in this car for a long time, but I feel like the quality of this is just like that much better on a better level. Like the screen, the fluidity of it, these LED on the interior, this dash is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I can't wait. This is gonna be a sick drive back. Thank you, David, for coming as well. We're just gonna have fun and we're gonna really learn about this Cybertruck. So we're about to leave Austin right now. We just put in Joshua Tree, so we're not going all the way to LA just yet. We're gonna go to Joshua Tree, but look at all these freaking supercharger stops along the way. This is absolutely insane. It's like 8 p.m. right now. It says we're gonna get there at 7:24 p.m. with all these charging stops, but let's see. The Cybertruck right now has 85% of the range, so we're about to leave, and it's just a lot of downtime along the way.
Oh my gosh, that was such a tight little turn.
That's nice.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reverse. Alright. Okay, so the backup camera is amazing. That's huge. Oh, this is gonna be tricky.
It's weird.
It's very weird. Oh man. Well, the good thing about this supercharger is that I can't crash into the stalls.
Right. You hit the speed bump and then that's it.
Yeah. We'll damage our car, but not the superchargers.
Yeah, the one thing is, because the Cybertruck is so long, the cables just like barely reach the truck. So you have to park like as close as possible to the back of the supercharger, and it's just jarring because the Cybertruck is so long that you got to be really careful as you back up closer and closer to the supercharging stalls.
Oh, that's pretty fast.
So we just plugged in, it's ramping up right now. We arrived with a state of charge of 25%. It's ramped up to 137 kilowatts, which is good because this charging stall only gets up to 150. I don't know what percentage we need to charge to, but let's see. If we gotta stay here for 25 minutes actually before we can even leave to the next one. So we'll see in 25 minutes what state of charge we're at, from 26% all the way up, hopefully 80%, but my guess probably 70%. So we just left. We charged up to like 85%. Going to our next supercharger location. It's Zona, Texas. It's only like another hour and 11 minutes away, but it says we're gonna arrive at like 26% of the battery. So it definitely feels like the truck eats a lot of battery, but maybe we're just speeding really fast before. So I'm gonna keep it under 80 miles an hour just to see if that helps for this next trip. So another stop here. We got here with 33% of the battery. This stop we got to charge for 40 minutes before we can leave. And let's see if we can get up to a high rate of speed. I think it's a 150 charger, but let's take a look here. It's a 150 kilowatt supercharger. So we're going to hopefully get up to 150 kilowatts. And it says we need to stay here for 40 minutes to charge before our next stop. So let's see how long this takes. So we charged about 67%. Let's get back in it and take a look and see where we are at. I think we're only here for like 30 minutes, but 71% and 207 miles. Next stop, Fort Stockton, Texas. So we just got to our next stop, 13% on the battery, 39 miles. This time I backed up close enough, I think. The trick is you got to get as close to the bumper as possible, but still, like, look at this length. It barely makes it on the Cybertruck. It's actually like kind of sus because it hits it at a weird angle, so you have to like kind of put it in a little bit weird. So let's see if we can get up to really good speeds or not. So this is a 150 kilowatt supercharger, so not the fastest. Fastest is 250 kilowatts. Let's see what type of rate of speed we can get up to. We're at 28%, 57, 77, 87 kilowatts, 103, 127, 138. And I guess that's where it's gonna stop at, 138 kilowatts for some reason. Interesting. So let's go ahead and charge and we'll see how long this takes and before we get on to our next destination. So the charge slowed down quite a bit. We went from 16% to 77%. It took about 40 minutes. It's down to 81, 84 kilowatts, which is about 200 miles an hour. And we added 73 kilowatts to the battery. Our next stop is, okay, an hour and 44 minutes away, 121 miles. And we'll get there with about 13% on the battery. So we're gonna go ahead and unplug and then drive to our next stop. We just got here 7%, definitely slowing down. We just plugged in. This is a 250 kilowatt supercharger in Van Horn, Texas. And we actually passed 150 kilowatts. We're up to 213 kilowatts at 515 miles an hour, and we added 7 kilowatts so far. We have to sit here for 45 minutes until we can go to our next stop. We still have a ton of superchargers to go while we go to California, but definitely cool to see that this got past 212 kilowatts because we have not charged a faster rate than this. But we got here with 7%. We're gonna sit here all the way until about probably 70 or 80% and then go on from there. So we just left 87%. We're here for about 40 minutes. Now we're heading to our next location in El Paso, Texas, with 12% remaining when we arrive. 2-hour drive, another 130 miles to go. Good morning. It is 7 a.m. We're about to charge up again. Oh, barely made it. Nope, still not made it. We got to back up a little bit more. Yeah, that's the thing with the Cybertruck. It's so long that you can barely tell when close enough to the supercharger or not. And so really the way to tell is your wheel has to hit the back of the parking stop. And then once you've done that, then you can pretty much get close to it. But now we should just barely hit it. These V2 superchargers or V3 superchargers are not made for Cybertrucks because look at that, the cable is just making it stretch all the way to the truck. Jumping back in, 7:15 a.m. We just hit El Paso, Texas. We got 19% on the battery. I think this is a 150 kilowatt supercharger, so we're gonna be here for a little bit. Actually, only 25 minutes to charge. But let's double check on this. Yep, 150 kilowatt supercharger right there in El Paso, Texas. So this is probably gonna get to like 140 kilowatts. We're gonna charge for 25 minutes and there's really no one else here. So we should be able to get all the power for the supercharger. But after this, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 superchargers to go. We're more than halfway. We've definitely been driving for over 13 hours now. And we should arrive in another 12 hours. Let's see how this goes. Take a little break and then on to the next one. Just finished charging. I think we were here for like 40 minutes. We're at 74%. We didn't really get past 148 kilowatts of speed. We got another supercharger to get to in Demings, New Mexico. 1 hour and 30 minutes away and 91 miles to go. So we're gonna get there, probably charge, we got to charge there for 50 minutes and then on to our next destination. So this is our first stop in New Mexico, actually. Arrived with 24% from El Paso, 70 miles of range. We're gonna plug it in, but this time I think we parked close enough, so we'll see. Gotta triple hit the dots, let it go, and just barely made it. So even, cause like, look at this, guys, like look how close we are to the back. That's like 1 foot, maybe even less than a foot. So you really have to get pretty close. And it's already really weird driving this Cybertruck, especially because it's still our first day with the rear steering and everything. So it's tough to get used to how far back you need to go, because even if we pushed it back all the way to the parking stop, I feel like we would have hit it back there. You can see here, we're getting up to about 34 kilowatts. You can see we're up to 150 kilowatts as the supercharger that it can go up to, and we're up to 142 kilowatts, 324 miles an hour, and we're gonna be here for 35 freaking minutes. So we're gonna stay here in New Mexico and then on to, oh, it looks like we're gonna be heading into Arizona for the next 4 right after that, and then finally California. All right, so we left Wilcox, but I totally forgot to record what state of charge we were at and what we left at. It was a 150 kilowatt supercharger, but we got essentially mobbed by all the Tesla owners there because they want to check out this cool ass Cybertruck. We let them check out the inside, see all the different features, and of course, definitely put their fingerprints on it because this thing is a fingerprint magnet. But I think we charged it, because the supercharger was so full, we were only able to get like 72 kilowatts at a max speed. So we didn't spend too much time there. And now we're actually headed to Tucson, where I think there's going to be a special surprise there. Shout out to Patreon member Rex. So we're going to get there in a little bit. I think we're about 15 minutes away, and we'll see what charge we get and of course what that surprise is. So check in soon. So we just made it to Joshua Tree, actually 29 Palms. We're spending the weekend here for New Year's Eve, and so we're not actually back in Los Angeles, California yet, but we have been driving for 25 hours straight. Of course, some of the supercharging stops took a little bit of time because we're meeting with people and people are checking out the Cybertruck, but we probably did, I don't even know, maybe 12, 13, 15 supercharging stops. I lost count at a certain point, and we lost some data from this, but it took 25 hours to go from Austin to Palm Springs, to go from Austin to 29 Palms, and so just a little bit of data point there. I'll probably try and get all the different stats with how many kilowatts we burned, but almost 1,300 plus miles. But thanks for joining in, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button, and let me know if you have any comments or questions. Put it down below in the comments. See ya.